Mission 1. So this is a pretty straightforward skip, literally, because for this first part you're going to see me just fly straight into the corner of that barrier, which creates an acute angle with the wall, and I try and have a shallow angle going into it. And I will stop and explain that in a bit. But this is a two-part skip, so I just want to show both parts to this at first. Again, I just flew right into that corner with pretty good speed, and I got right through it without needing to turn at all, really. It's just a matter of mashing the boost and using the jet boosters. This is taken out of the world record run for my cheats, New Game Plus 90%. Right here, I flew into it with good speed just like with the last one, but I didn't get it first try. However, I did manage to get it second try. If I didn't get through it on the second try, I definitely would have reset the run right there, and that is especially the case because this is the very start of the run. It's just mission 1, so resetting the run at this point is not a huge deal. So let's get into this just a little bit more. This is the old way that we used to do this with the Jet Threat 3.0 rather than the HW Prototype 12. Now you're going to see I kind of line it up so that my left wheel is at the corner, and then I try and go straight into it without really any turning at all. And right there I got it on the second try. So again, it's that front left wheel that you want to get at that corner, and if you go at it straight with some decent speed, then you can get through it. And you may have noticed that in this particular demonstration, I actually did it with just jet boosters and without any boost at all. So that pretty much just goes to show that it is possible to do without having any boost. But that is typically not relevant except for in NG plus any percent, where doing that skip is an option because you will start off the mission without any boost. Now this is the second part of the skip. So here I do have boost and also jet booster ammunition. I try and go at it with some speed, and I'm trying to get the left half of my car to go into the corner. And what you'll notice here is I got unlucky and I actually ended up failing it. Even though I got through, I got unlucky and then ended up flying too far into the ground, and that respawns you at the start of the mission. So at that point, it's a definite reset right there. There, I got the first part of the skip perfectly fine yet again. That time it was on the first try. So again, first skip is just going straight, getting that left tire at the spot that you need to get it, right at the corner of the barrier, and that's pretty much what you want to do there. And this second skip is, you know, it's pretty much something that you want to go at with some speed. And this one is a bit more luck based, definitely. So we're going to see me fly at it here. That didn't work out, so I'm going to have to back up, get some more speed again. That time I used the right side of my car. So you can do it both ways. There I was using the right side of my car. And trying it again. That one didn't work either. So I think it's important to show this because it shows, it sort of gives you an idea of what works and what doesn't. So right there, I headed at it with enough speed that it ended up working with my right tire getting through the corner. So that one is a skip that you really need to do yourself and just get an understanding for, because that's the kind of thing where you just have to do it and do it and do it, and then you just have to try and get a feel for it, and that's pretty much what that is. Mission 2. So this is the any percent version of this skip where you have to use one of the starter cars. You see that I went to the shortcut route, but then the only reason I did that was to get boost so that I could do this skip, because this skip does require boost. This one can be very tricky, but you have to really try and get a hold of it. So you want to go into the corner with actually extremely low speed. What you're noticing is I'm not pressing the gas when I go into the corner. You have to give it a little bit of gas, and then you have to glide and turn, trying to get your left front wheel into the corner. See right there, I almost got it. It's just very slow. Ease the front left tire into that corner. And right there I got it. Once you get in, immediately start mashing your boost as fast as you can. And then if you're lucky, you might even get a stunt afterwards like that. Just remember that this is a very slow skip. You really want to give this some time, and you don't want to be pressing the gas at all when you go into the corner, which doesn't seem like that's what you would normally do, but that's because this is a weird skip. Very slowly going through it, much slower than you probably think, and at that point, you've got it. Mission 5. So, one thing you need to know is that the Mission 5 skip and the Mission 6 skip are literally exactly the same. So, in this case, I'm doing the any percent version of the skip, which at this point in the game, you will have Jaded, which is the car you want to be using. So, and keep in mind, for the Mission 5, you need to have the armor repair gadget glitch enabled, which I have a video on that on my channel already if you don't know how to do that. So, you want to, instead of going up the mountain to get there, you want to go over here and go in front of this building and back up while reversing to the left. And you want to get the front right wheel of your car to hit that corner there, and just get that little bit of clipping action in order to basically get out of bounds and then spawn back at the city. Mission 6. So, once you meet up with Belcher, you then have to beat him to the downtown arena. I usually pick up that timer there because you need all the time you can get, especially if you're new to the skip in speedruns. I have the timer cheat on just for demonstration purposes. You want to hop down here, and again, you're doing the exact same thing you did in Mission 5 because you want to teleport to the downtown city. So you're trying to get that front right wheel to hit the corner in order to get yourself stuck at a sort of minimal angle. There I use the Ripper wheels, which, you know, demonstrating the effects there, it sends you flying out, so you actually don't want to use the Ripper wheels, because that will just lead to random situations. Here, you can see I sort of got it, and then I use the Ripper wheels. Now I'm flying all over the place. This run is already long gone if this was a real run, because I've wasted far too much time here. So yeah, now I'm clearly stuck, and there's going to be no way I'm able to get out of this situation, and I end up stuck out of bounds with no boost and no ammo. So this was kind of an example of like how not to do it at that point. So here I go again. I'm going to drop down here, preemptively already turning my car in that direction in the air, and then getting that front tire stuck, and that's exactly how it should look when you do it. The second you realize you are out of bounds enough, then you should immediately start mashing your boost to get yourself into that wall and to just get out of bounds, because that's just your goal. All you need to do is get out of bounds and hit the respawn plane on the ground, which will send you immediately to the city. Mission 9. So this skip has extremely low use. You're maybe saving a second or 2 or 3 at most, so never go for this. But if you try and fly into that garbage pile at the right angle, you can sometimes get yourself outside of the blue wall, which is obviously the wall on the right, the main wall that you're trying to get outside of in order to get out of bounds. The goal of this skip is just trying to get your car out of bounds so that you will land on the respawn plane and then spawn at the docks, which is just maybe a tiny bit faster. So here I'm just going back because I'm going to try it again. Again, this skip is, it's it's not incredibly difficult, but it is kind of difficult and it's not worth it at all. So you should absolutely never go for this skip unless you're doing an individual level run. That's the reason that you saw me do this skip in my speedruns of every mission video, because if you can shave off even just a second for an individual level run, then it's worth it. And that was a very specific situation. So right there, I managed to do it. Again, you can do it from the spot at the front of the pile or once you're through the pile using the acute angle with the caution barrier in the wall. So yeah, there's two ways to do it. At the end of the day, you're just trying to get yourself out of bounds, and it's definitely not the easiest thing ever. It's definitely not worth it at all in a speed run, so you definitely should not be doing it. Nice wall plants. Mission 12. So I've already done a standalone video on my channel covering this skip and this skip only, but of course I have to include it in this video, so you can watch that video as well if you want a little bit more help on this. But basically you want to grab the temporal transmission, do a 180 and head back here. Once you get to this gate, you want to boost into the corner. This is an example of what not to do, because basically I ended up with my car 90 degrees to the right of the angle that I would have wanted it to be. So right now I am completely screwed because there's no way I can get out of this situation, and at this point I'm just going to fall out of bounds, and there's no respawn plane in any of the missions in Burnout Glacier. So at that point you are basically screwed and you have to reset your run, which is why the mission 12 skip is so devious, is because it's incredibly difficult. It's the 12th mission out of 14 missions, so it's also at the end of the run, and yeah, things can definitely go wrong here. So this is a really important skip to practice, and it saves a lot of time. That's more of the angle that you would want. So now this is the in-between. Last time I was facing completely 90 degrees to the right. This time I was 45 degrees. And this can sometimes be salvaged if you're extremely lucky. But you kind of get stuck on the ceiling of the dome here. And then you're kind of screwed. If you're lucky, you can see I'm sort of turning towards that area to maybe hit the respawn plane there, but no, you're basically screwed at that point. So again, that's another angle that will have you fail. So here we go again. This is going to be the correct way to do it. I go at it with this angle, and there I go. I'm pointing in the correct direction. I'm mashing as fast as I possibly can to try and get myself through that gate. Sometimes the enemies can help you, sometimes they can hurt you. If you're really unlucky, they'll crash into you and you'll lose the temporal transmission on the other side of the gate. But there, everything went just according to plan. It did take a little longer than I would have liked if this was a speed run, because obviously you want to get through that gate as fast as possible and not get hung up on it like I did there. So it was a little bit unlucky in terms of that, but overall I was able to pretty easily get through the gate there by having the correct angle. And then of course, if you've seen that video before that I did on my channel, or if you've seen a speed run, you know that it glitches the race afterwards by doing that skip, which allows you to actually disable Rupert rather than race him. So this skip saves a ton of time, but it's extremely difficult, and you really got to practice it and get that angle to go straight through the gate. Mission 11. This skip is incredibly difficult. It has never been done in a speedrun before besides individual level runs. The goal is to get yourself at this corner of those two buildings and then fly out of bounds, hopefully landing at the respawn plane under the volcano and then activate the cutscene and then grab the volcanic gas canister. It cannot be understated just how difficult this is. Here's a clip from my world record individual level run for Mission 11. As you can see with DR2 going right into the corner pretty much at a 45-degree angle, and then getting lucky and hitting the respawn plane and then spawning in the volcano. In this case I grabbed the volcanic gas canister first, otherwise known as an armor repair because I'm using the armor repair gadget glitch. Then I activate the cutscene, and it seems dumb that you have to activate the cutscene, but it is actually required that you activate the cutscene, because if you don't, then there will be a caution barrier that spawns right about where I am right now. So yeah, you have to get that to disappear. In order to do that, you just activate the cutscene and grab the canister, and then you're already at the fight. And in this particular situation, I managed to get an absolutely unbelievably outstanding slick fight, which allowed me to complete the mission in under 1 minute, which was completely insane. Here you're going to see a slowed down version of what I did. Again, pretty much getting a 45-degree angle into that corner and boosting the second you hit it and mashing as fast as you can the second you hit it. And then from that point, I'm just mashing and jet boosting and strafing to the left. And this is pretty much luck. You can see I just flew out there just the right way. And you can see if you look at the minimap, I'm flying right towards the volcano and just hitting that respawn point. And just like that, I've skipped going around the entire map. Mission 4. Say hello to the most difficult skip in Hot Wheels Velocity X. I will mostly let this video speak for itself. In this case, I used an Atom Beam exploit, which allowed me to teleport to the arena and finish this mission in under a minute. The previous way I did this on my channel was with the same vehicle, way too fast, and I used the Ripper wheels and used the same little garage sort of alcove right there. And in this case, I had a pretty good fight too. Now, here's the old video on my channel, where I did it with the Ripper wheels. It was just complete luck, the way everything worked out. Strafing to the left, bouncing off a wall, and landing in the arena. Just complete luck, in every way. And honestly, that's what this absolutely insane skip comes down to. It basically just comes down to luck. I mean, you have very little control over what happens once you manage to get yourself a little bit out of bounds. So it's pretty ridiculous. Going back to the way I showed off first with the Atom Blaster, there would be a lot to explain with this, but here's what it boils down to. The Atom Blaster begins to cause some slowdown and glitches in the game if you use it while you're out of bounds. I got myself out of bounds and used the Atom Blaster, and I happened to fly in the direction of the arena and get inside. And that's literally all it was. You really just want to try and reverse your car at an angle so that you can get yourself stuck in the garage. And it's actually way easier said than done, especially because the camera is not of any use here. Just sort of getting that left wheel stuck, getting myself in there. The reason I use way too fast is because it's pretty much like the perfect length car for this. Now, it is worth mentioning that there's an alternate way of doing the Mission 4 skip, and in this old video that was posted on my channel a long time ago, you can see that I'm using Jet Threat 3.0, and I don't think it's necessarily necessary that you use this car, but it's just the one I chose to use. If you fly at that rock with that specific angle and continue boosting and using the jet boosters while out of bounds, you can fly at an angle that will allow you to clip through the wall and land inside the arena. I've only managed to do this strategy successfully twice ever, and the same goes for the previous Mission 4 strategy that I just showed off. I've only ever managed to do that one twice as well. So, no matter how you slice it, Mission 4 is an incredibly difficult skip. You can do the first strategy or this strategy. Yeah, just no matter how you do it, it's going to be insanely difficult, and unfortunately, there have been no better strategies that have been found. And trust me, many people have tried different ways of skipping this mission. I personally have tried many times to clip through the gate. I've tried all sorts of things, trust me. But unfortunately, these are pretty much the strategies that we have at the moment, and both of them are incredibly difficult, and it is easily the hardest skip in Hot Wheels Velocity X, being extremely luck-based, and it's just insane.